Hello friends, welcome back to the YouTube channel yet again. I have a matcha here, which is the way we do things. This is a tradition already. I needed this so bad today. I'm so exhausted. You don't even want to know where I started today. Okay. Cheers to that. As you can see by the title of this video, I wanted to talk about the fact that I have been lonely my entire life, and I hope that by me sharing my experience with loneliness and always feeling alone in the world, it may help give comfort to one or two or three or 100 other people. Because I do feel that the more that we share our stories, the more that we express ourselves in whatever way that is, however it comes, it is an art form. Talking, expressing yourself, being vulnerable, sharing your story, it is an art form, and I feel that in some way that really helps others. It does. I know that I've definitely watched YouTube videos of some of my favorite people, and when they've talked about how they feel, it's really given me a lot of comfort in the fact that I feel the same way. I deal with the same stuff. So that is what we are here to do today. So strap in. I hope you've got your drink. And I am freestyling this whole video. I don't really have any notes at all. But I'm just gonna go from the top. I guess I feel really called to make this video because it's been something that's been on my mind a lot lately. The fact that I still am so lonely in my life. All of my close friends all live in different places in the world. I don't have any close friends in my home city where my mum and my cousin are, who are like my literal only family. And let me preface all of that by saying I am an only child as well, which is a whole different life experience in itself. And I've done the amount of work on myself that I have now. I am at the age that I am. I've got like some good friends that live in all different places. And I wonder, why do I still feel so lonely? And the fact that, like, why does it feel that people just don't understand me and I'm just not liked? And I'm realizing that that is a huge part of something within me that really stems from my childhood and all the experiences I had in primary school and high school and with my parents. The fact that I've always been a unique character. I've always been outspoken. I've always known who I am. I've always stood on what I feel is true. I've always wanted the truth. I've wanted no matter how hard it is for people, I've never been afraid of confrontation, not even as a 4-year-old. And my mum knew that when she conceived me, she said this, even when I was in her belly, she knew this child is different. This child is meant to be here on this earth. Even as a really young child, 2, 3, 4 years old, I was really outspoken and really just confident, and that then translated into primary school and high school being someone who people did not like. I wasn't a pushover. I wasn't easy to manipulate, and all those sorts of things, right? And then in high school, I feel like it got even worse because then I grew boobs and I was dating, and in high school, girls are bitchy. I had a group of friends that I was in with, and they were just not good people. They were not honest, good people. None of them actually liked me. They didn't actually like each other. They would bitch about each other all the time. I just was always trying to bring honesty. I just feel like I don't know. I just did not fit in. I didn't feel actually liked or loved at all. That then translated into all of my other friendships and relationships. All of my upbringing, the fact that I grew up as alone an alone only child. I grew up as an only child in my own head all the time, just journaling and writing cute things on a piece of paper and in my journal and writing stories and daydreaming, that when I would then be in contact with the outside world, I wouldn't understand why the outside world was as bad as it was, as fake as it was. So I've always felt that way, and I still kind of feel that way now. Even though I found really good people, even though I'm understanding more and more as time goes on, Not everyone is a good person. Everyone's here to teach us all something. People have good and bad in them. People's traumas make them act the way that they do. I understand all of that. But I still feel that we live in a pretty harsh world. We live in a pretty awful world for the most of the time. And I feel like that in itself holds a lot of us back. We've had bad dating experiences. We've had bad friendship experiences. I've had a lot of girlfriends that I've tried to have in my life for the last 5-6 years since I've been more conscious and aware, and a lot of them just didn't work out. Like whoever it was just would not put in as much effort as I would. And that's kind of been the story of my life. A lot of my friendships, I've poured energy into them. I want to be close to them, and people just kind of run away, like the anxious avoidant saga. And I have done so much work to heal that. I'm a lot more secure in myself now than I ever have been in my life. Like, praise the Lord, praise the heavens. Like, it's taken a second, okay? And of course my anxious attachment still comes up and out sometimes, and that's something that I work through. But I do believe whatever your attachment style is, you should have friends in your life that hold space for that love you with that, regardless of how it might trigger them as well. I think that the friends and the people that we have in our lives, we all trigger each other in the best ways to then heal and grow and evolve more. That's a whole other video. That's a whole other saga, anxious avoidant stuff. But I've just felt, and I'm realizing this a lot lately, that I have felt that the world is not safe. That people are not safe because people always leave, or people just are never going to love me the way that I want to be loved, or the way that I love them, or the way that I feel that I deserve love, etc. So I've then chosen to either cause a fight or cause a scene, or the people that I've tried to work things through with, they didn't want to hear it. All that being said, I have realized that I don't feel very safe in the world, and I think that really correlates with the fact that I feel so alone a lot of the time, and I choose to then be alone a lot of the time. But more so, I feel that I haven't really met a lot of like people that are in alignment with me, and this has been so heartbreaking. I don't put my whole age on the internet. I never have, but I am nearing my 30s, okay? And I feel like by this age, I didn't realize that I would still feel alone in the world. And I think part of why I'm making this video and part of why I want to discuss this topic is I think it's really important to, obviously, as we know, it's cliche, but you need to find a home within yourself that is separate to other people. And it's something that I have always struggled with because I was an only child, because I became kind of really dependent on what my dad did do for me and then what my mum did for me. And I feel that I struggled in relationships and friendships because of all my trauma. And I just felt like I was always chasing myself or chasing love in honestly the wrong people. And I just didn't know how to choose the right people either. And I saw something on Instagram the other day. One of my friends actually shared something to do with it, but it's like chasing is a wound response. Choosing is a healed response. And I think once we get older, kiddies, once we get older, we realize that we need to be really selective and really think about who we're choosing to put energy into, who we're choosing to be friends with, who we're choosing to date especially. But we need to choose better for ourselves. And I think as lonely people, especially if you are an only child, especially if you've had a lot of trauma, especially if you feel like an alien on planet Earth because you're on a different consciousness to most people you know, we end up choosing a lot of the wrong people out of loneliness. Like I said, you really need to find a home within yourself through constant different practices that bring you back to self. Anything that brings you back to self. And it might feel really uncomfortable to start with, because I think if we've spent so many years chasing the wrong people and trying to find ourselves in other people, when we confront ourselves, we go, oh my God, like there's a lot of stuff here that I have not looked at and have not wanted to face, and this is too much. Let me just go binge Netflix or get on a dating app. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna feel good, especially if you're a conscious person. If you're still acting out of wounded ways, it does not feel good. It doesn't feel good to act that way. So you really need to take responsibility. And I just feel as well, it's important to acknowledge the state of the world and the fact that there are a lot of wounded people out there. There are a lot of people posing as spiritual, authentic, real people, but they're really wounded too. And a lot of people are going to project onto you. I know in my past, I really projected onto a lot of people as well. And I think part of being conscious, there is a responsibility to, if we do project, which happens because we are human, if we do project, we catch ourselves and we stop before we cause pain for the other friend or the person, or it is a safe enough space for them to call us out on that. That's what a safe connection is. That's what a safe friendship or relationship is. So don't choose people unless you have that, okay? It is better to be alone than to have unsafe, unhealthy places and friendships for your nervous system, okay? I feel like the most important thing for my journey with loneliness has really been creativity and finding my own flow of creativity, tapping into my own higher thoughts, my own higher self, my spiritual practices, and my deep, deep connection with Source and with God, and the fact that I do have gifts. And I always said to myself, I'm not a creative person. I always said, I'm not a creative person. I have no gifts. I have no talents. I'm not an artist. I'm not this, that, and the third. I said that for so many years of my life. I felt like I had to just work and struggle to fit into the world, right? Which I feel like so many artists and creatives do feel. We feel like, I don't fit into this world. I'm just gonna have to change myself to fit into the world. Don't do that. Don't do that, girl. It will not feel good. It will not be enjoyable. But over the years, the more that I have fine-tuned my creativity and really followed my passions and the little things that really spark joy for me, the more my path has unfolded, and it's led me closer to the right people, the right energies, and just better alignment for myself. And the reason I say that that has helped me the most with loneliness is because that is an energy, that is something that I can tap into at any time. That's something that is not going away. I don't need to look outside of myself to find that feeling, to get that thing. It is within me. I can sit down anywhere at any time and connect to that. Or I can go within myself, go silent, do not disturb for a whole weekend and find that thing, find that feeling, and be with that part of myself. So I think if you are someone who is still really struggling with loneliness and you feel that you have a lot of people maybe in your life, but they don't see you, they don't feel you, they don't love you, they don't understand you, you feel that way, then you need to sit down and discover that love and that feeling within yourself, but follow the things that light you up. Do more of the things that really connect you to your higher self, that connect you to your confidence and your power, whether it's drawing or painting or dancing, which has been a huge one for me. Like, I need dance in my life now. I never danced. I never moved my body until 2020. And then if you look at my Instagram now, baby, I be dancing because that for feminine women, you need to freaking dance. But anyway, you need to find things that are yours. And I think that's why a lot of people feel like life doesn't start until after you turn 30 anyway, because for like most of our teenage years and our 20s, we're just figuring shit out. We don't even know who we are yet. The people that we date, some of the friendships that we have, a lot of those things don't even align with who we're meant to be. So of course, a lot of the time we may feel lonely because we're not in full alignment yet. I guess I just really want to remind you that if this is a true common feeling for you, discover where it's coming from within. And I'm not going to sit here and do the typical cliche like, go join some groups, go to women's circles, and you can do all that. Like, whatever works for you, go do that. Trust me, go do whatever you like. That's not that kind of video here. Like, I want to be real about it. My whole page and everything is about being like realistic and authentic and real. Just understand that even though you feel really, really lonely, and a lot of the time it feels like absolutely no one cares, not even the few friends that you have, it might be coming from your wounding, it might be coming from your anxious attachment, it might be coming from the way that your parents made you feel, or the way that you were maybe bullied in school. It might not be in this present moment. And I remember when I was going into therapy a lot and seeing my therapist, which I haven't really done in a while, the therapist said, you know, the Alicia, like the you that you are in this moment, doesn't need that person to do anything for her to feel good. But the little Alicia, the young version of you, the wounded version of you that was looking to mommy and daddy for love and everything and for her needs to be met, that is the version of you that is coming through right now and searching for that love in another person. And I remember just thinking like, this is, girl, you're not helping me by saying this. Like, please just pipe down. Cool. Like, yeah, it's the younger version of me. Okay, so what am I going to do about it? And it's just the way that I view healing, the way that I even view therapy, things like that, working through these things. This stuff does not happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. You're not going to be your dream person overnight. You're not going to heal these things. You're not going to feel not lonely overnight. I think a lot of our wounds, our childhood wounds and our trauma, it stays with us. A lot of it can be just a distant memory at some point. A lot of it can feel like, I don't even know who that person was. But I do think that there are a lot of parts of us that we mold and we change and we learn to live with and we grow through it. We evolve from it. But for example, like the loneliness feeling, I've had this my entire life, and it is definitely something that I'm now consciously having to retrain my mind. I did one of my last videos on here that was like how to create your reality or how to change your life, something like that. But how to like change your mind, you really have to absorb so much other information that is about the new story and the new belief. So for example, if we're feeling so lonely and no one understands us in this world, then writing so many affirmations about how loved we are, pointing out the love that we do see, feeling grateful for the friends that we do have, and feeling so grateful and thankful for the support we do have. We're not alone. You're not alone. You've got at least one person on earth. And if you don't have one person on earth, then you do have me. You've got a person that you can connect with in some way. Like there's someone on YouTube, or there's a Netflix series, or there's like nature, the beach, like going for a run, getting endorphins running through your system. Like there is something or someone in this world that does make you feel less alone. And it can be just yourself through the feelings you give yourself, the thoughts you tell yourself. So I have had to teach myself and remind myself that when I do feel so alone, I like to go into a bit of a cocoon and a bubble. I like to like shower, do my skincare, cuddle up with like my favorite Netflix show, order some yummy food, normally sushi, because your girl loves sushi. I love sushi so much. Yum. Cuddle up with some sushi and just take care of myself, journal, be with myself and feel my feelings. A lot of the times, like, we really run from our feelings, and when we're feeling so lonely and it all hits at once, we want to completely numb it out. But I think it's really important to allow yourself to feel those feelings and then just treat yourself like you would treat a friend. Treat yourself the way that you want a friend to treat you. So that's why I like to really take care of myself in a lot of different ways. I like to do the gym stuff and do the feeling my feelings and feeling and doing the embodiment and all that, and then journaling and then going to therapy, but then also like watching Netflix and taking a break and just getting into myself. I've had to learn to love myself in a world that has not supported me, that has not felt safe, that has judged me, that now judges me. Like online, I see so much stuff about like women with tattoos. I don't feel like I look like the beauty standard. I feel like I don't make friends really easily because of the way that I look and how my energy is very like intense. You name it, there are so many reasons why people don't like me straight away. I'm not the easy, delicate little perfect feminine being, which everyone's trying to be online now. I'm not that. So the storage on my phone is actually getting really full and I just had to delete some stuff to finish this video. So I'm going to leave the whole video right here. I feel like I said everything I need to say, but just remember that if you feel alone in this world, you're not alone. Like there are so many other people, myself included, that feel alone, even at the best of times, that feel misunderstood. Whatever you are feeling misunderstood by, you need to dive into that. The parts of you that are so misunderstood are probably just your creative abilities that you should be expressing in a different way. So spend your time focusing on that. Deepen into your passions, spend more time loving yourself, figuring out, how do I want to spend my time? What do I want to do with my time? How do I want to dress? How do I want to look? Like, just have fun with your life, your character, okay? Life is too short to be wanting other people to give us attention when we should learn to give it to ourselves. And I do think that community is really, really important. We really deserve to have good friends. So express yourself more, put yourself in places and rooms and just areas of life that you may run into people that are on the same wavelength as you. Share more of what you love online. I honestly met all of my close friends through Instagram, and without Instagram, without me sharing what I'm passionate about and my work and my gifts, I wouldn't have found my closest friends. So I could do a million more videos on this. So let me know in the comments if you want me to talk about this more, if you feel like this is a real topic of conversation that you'd love to hear me talk more about. I could maybe do a whole series on this, just talking about dealing with loneliness, feeling lonely in the world, feeling like an outcast, a black sheep. I could talk about it for days on end, but here we are and my phone is backing up. So thank you for tuning in and I will see you in the next video.